Hello everybody and welcome back to World Mosaic 6 here on the channel. We finished the campaign puzzles in the last video. We're going to be doing the bonus puzzles in this one. There looks to be 3 rows of them, so there might be 5 more groups of bonus puzzles, so I'm kind of hoping that they'll be easier than they were in the last game. And if you guys are enjoying World Mosaic 6, hit the like button and the subscribe button below. Okay. Now... one there, get rid of that. 4 here. This is just a 7. Probably 2 here and 2 there. Gets rid of this. Here's the rest of the 4. 2 here and 1 there. A penguin? Nice. And let's go over here. We have a bunch of 10s at the bottom to start with. 7's here, a 4 here, this can go up to 6, these are all done already, this goes up to a 5, finishing up all of those, this can go up to a 3, finishing that, and this can go to, yeah, this has to go here to a 7, and then a 1 there. Now this is Antarctica, so I'm imagining that's that's an iceberg. I was really hoping that wasn't going to be a polar bear, because I'm like, that is a very sad attempt at a polar bear. And that's coming from somebody who's absolutely terrible at art. 6 here, 2 there, this is a 4, this is a 6, get rid of that, 1 here, 1 there, get rid of those, nothing there, 1 here. There's the rest of the 7, up to a 6. Finishing those as well as this. This goes to a 5 here. Nothing there. There's the 3, and then we have a 1 there and a 1 there. What is that? Research station. Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, I don't think there's a lot of barns in the Antarctic. 5 here. Can go to 3 and a bunch of 2s, then this can go 1 there, getting rid of this, there's the rest of the 7, and can go 3 here, gets rid of this, nothing there either, probably can go 2 here, getting rid of that, can't have anything here, so one of the 1s have to go there. Can't have anything here. And 2 here. Gets rid of this. Wow, this one's just an absolute bother, isn't it? Huh. It doesn't help that my room is making as much noise as is physically possible again. But don't worry, I'm hoping to have news on when we're going to be moving soon. Might even already be moved by the time this video comes out. 1 there, get rid of this. There's the rest of the 5. This can go to there. And then a 1 here, gets rid of this. There's the 4, gets rid of that. A 1 here and a 1 there, gets rid of this. There we go. Minute and 45 seconds on a 10 by 10 is not a good thing. A seal. 1 there. Like a mountain? Mount Erebus, sure. It's funny because with the background of this one, it honestly looks the exact same as every single picture we're making, so... You say mount, is this what it is in the background too? Nothing here, 2 there, 2 here, gets rid of this. 1 here, get rid of that, 1 there. This there. And 1 has to go here, gets rid of that, gets rid of this, and that's done. What is that? Oh, pole? The South Pole. We have an 8 here and a 1. This can go up to there, this over to a 6. I got really lucky there. 4 here. 1's there and there. There's a 6. There's the 3. Gets rid of all of this. This can now go to a 7, 1 here, and a 1 there. 3 here, 3 there. I got really lucky again because I didn't even know what number that was going to be. What is that sound? My goodness. This house is like one of those horror movie caves where you just hear stuff constantly in the background and everyone's like, nah, there's nothing there. It's totally not like there's some gigantic monstrosity sneaking up on you in the darkness of the cave. That's what it feels like living in this house. Just never know when something's just... Could just be the house. Could also just be God knows what. 1 there. Let's go to the next one. And a 10 here. 3, a couple of 2s. A bunch of 2s and a 3. Get rid of all of this. This is a 2 here. This goes up to a 5. 4 here. There's the 6. There's a 7. And this is a 1. This has to be 5, 1, 2. This is a 3. 4 is there. 3 here. And here. And then there. Honestly have no idea what half of these pictures are. Aurora Australis. Huh. I feel like that's like the lesser known cousin of the Auroras. Never heard of that one before, but to be fair, I don't really pay too much attention to that kind of stuff. Let's get rid of that. Besides, I don't even think I'd be able to see it given the hemisphere difference and whatnot. 2 there, and then a 3. And that's a 6 to there, 3 here, 3 there, gets rid of that. 5 here, then a 3. And also, if I sound half out of it, much apologies because of the fact that no one really in the house is getting any sleep anymore. Basically, every single person now at night is just driving by our house with their music turned up to as loud as physically possible. And is waking everybody up, so. 3 there, and 1, I see. 1 here, 4 here, 1 there. This can go down to a 6. There's the 7. 2 here, 4 there. This can go to a 2. There's the 5. 3 here and there. Get rid of all of this. This can go to a 4. Gets rid of that. And here we were. 2 here. Get rid of this. 1 there. Get rid of that. There's that 2. And this 2. And there. Wow. What is that even a picture of? Snow bluffs? Sure, I'll take your word for it. Domestic items. Okay. I'm getting a grocery list made now. 6 here. Get rid of all of that. Then a 4 there. Get rid of this. And this. 5 here. Get rid of that. This one's rather interesting because there really isn't much to work off of once you get to this point. I guess we can go 1 here. That was a guess. 3 here. Get rid of this. There's the 2. Get rid of that. And this 1 here. Nothing there, so there's the 4. This can now go to 8. 2 here, 2 there, 1 there. We have ourselves rubber gloves. Okay. And this one we have a 6 down here, get rid of that. This can go up to a 3, then a 5, then a 3, get rid of all of this. This can now go to a 6. This can go up to a 3 as well as over here. This can go to a 7. And 2's there, and then a 2 here. What is this, a lamp? What is this? What is this group of levels? Also, it kind of looks like a electric candle almost. Used to sell them at like Christmas time and stuff. I feel like we have like 100 of them around our house at Christmas. 6, and 7, and then 5. This can go to there, and then this can go to here. What is that? A table? Or no, a table. Yeah, it's a chair. A chair designed to break your back. Lovely. There's 7 here. This can go up to there. We can probably go there too on there. Like this. This has to go up to a 4 here. This can go to a 5 now. Finishing that. And this. This level group seems easier than Antarctica. Got a broom. Very simple ones, too. We're definitely getting through this as fast as we're going to need to, considering how many levels there are. Still not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing once we finish this game, though. Part of me wants to take a break on the franchise, but again, as I've said before, if I take a break on it, I'll probably... Well, it'll be a long time before I return to this, because we have a ton of games I'd rather play on Big Fish and stuff. 1 here, 1 there, gets rid of this. This can now go to 5. Getting rid of that. This 2 literally has to go there. So now this can go to 5. 1 here. This is a 3. And great. There's a 3. This can't go there, so just a 4 here. I feel like I really just want like a list of how many times I have said something, like a level was easy or something was really quite simple, and then immediately after just became 5 times more difficult. The real difficulty is when I open my mouth. 2 there. 3 here. 1 here. Problem is, there's way too many 1s. Like, seriously, that's the only number I'm basically dealing with. Wow, there's just nothing. 1 can go there. 1 has to go here. Anything? Like, I'm literally having to guess now. Isn't that just great? I love having to guess. Spend all this time on a puzzle that should be quite simple, and I have to guess to finish it. 1 there, 1 has to go there, 1 has to go there, and a 1 has to go here. Wow. What was that even? A trash can? A jar. Indeed. That should have been that difficult for a jar. I feel like that episode of SpongeBob with Patrick trying to open the jar and he keeps like slapping himself in the face the whole time. It's like, yep. That's what I feel like right now. 8. Of course, anybody would feel that way inside of a house where the walls crack every 5 seconds. 1 there. And an 8 over to here, and then a 6 there. Like a microwave, but for some reason they cropped it wrong. 10 by 10. I wanted that to go straight across, considering how terrible all the other ones are. What is this 10 by 10? But I think, honestly, no, this will go straight across now. Yeah. And just watch how much that helps. Because the answer is not much. Nothing there. Get rid of this. 1 here. This is to a 2. Sounds like we have a helicopter flying over our house again. That's the other thing. Constant helicopters over our house. It's like you'd think whatever they were doing, they keep saying they're like checking lines. It's like, I doubt you have to check the lines 50 times a week. If it's that obnoxious, what you might need to be doing is a repair. here, one there, one here, and one there. So we can probably go like this. And one here, that's just a 1, 3 there. 2 here, there's the rest of that. Get rid of this. And 2 there. 1 here. What is this? What did I just make? A fan? Sure, yeah. Yup. Domestic items. Fan. I mean, it is, yes, but just why did it have to look like that? Couldn't it have just been a normal fan? 2 here, 1 there. And can't have anything there, so this can go up to a 3. The whole house is getting shaken again by a car. Is that an endurance test? It truly is. Nothing here. This goes up to a 5. Wow. No help again, huh? Get rid of that. Can't have anything. Well, that could have technically been the 1, but too late to worry about that now. I guess we just say it's like that. We just don't know where the rest of the 5 is. It's not there, so it has to be over here. That's a 2. There's the rest of the 4. 1 here. What is this puzzle? Like, what is the remainder of this puzzle? 1 here. Can't have anything here, so this goes to a 3. 1 there. This goes up to a 4. This goes over to a 3. Light bulb. Sure. I love how we're just like slowly but surely also advancing human history in this puzzle set. We started off with like, you could find these in any normal house back in like the, well, besides the rubber gloves, back in like the 1800s, and now we're like microwave. Light bulb. 2 there. And here we are again. So 1 space, 1 space. No, that doesn't work. But I can guess and think that it might be there, which it was, thankfully. Get rid of this and this. And now it's 1 here and there. This goes up to a 2. I love how some of these puzzles have been as simple as basically like 2 straight lines and then you're just done already. And then there are other versions of these puzzles where it's just looked like the one that I did that was the fan, where it's just 1s everywhere, and I'm like, okay, great, but aren't you supposed to give me some kind of help? We're on the 2nd of possibly 15 bonus puzzles. What is that? A vacuum? That's a vacuum cleaner? Okay, well, when it's actually out here, it does look more like a vacuum cleaner. Okay, so 10, 1, and 2. Get rid of this. 5 here and here. Get rid of that. And this is symmetrical? Kinda. No, it's not. This 2 here is wrong. Let's just say it goes over to here. And then they're here too. Great. I did not feel like using the critical thinking skills needed to figure out the rest of this puzzle. My head hurts far too much for that. Usually I say I don't like to play puzzle games when I have a headache, but in this case, I was like, might as well play a puzzle game. My head's not going to get any better anytime soon. Can't go there. I know it can't go here or there. So 2 here, 2 there. There's the 5. finishing up that one and this one, so one has to go here too. So now one there, there, and there. There's the 3. Gets rid of this whole row and all of that. This whole top part basically doesn't help at all. And when I'm looking down here, I'm like, is there a 1 here? Of course not. That would have been too easy. So where are our 1s? Here and then here? Wonderful. And then probably there. Yep. I don't even know what I'm making at this point. So I guess I'll just have to do that over again. 9. Go up to 7 on both sides here. 1 there, over here to a 5. This goes into a 2. This is a 10. The 3 goes over to there. 5 in the center. Get rid of this. And then it's that. And now it's this. What is this even? What am I making? 3 here. Get rid of that. And this. This is a 5. 1 there. Is that a plant? Did I honestly just take that much effort to make a plant? Oh, and then they just had to go and make it a potted plant too. You couldn't have just said plant. Like there. One of the just like when you have those games where you're making an office space, you always have the fern that you can purchase. That's what that felt like. It was that level of failure. I lost to a fern. 4 here, 2 there. And now we're dealing with reptiles, huh? I feel like it's been a while since I've had to deal with reptiles in a game. I haven't done anything with Zoo Tycoon 2 yet for the dinosaur levels. Would like to get to those shortly, but with how the levels have been working recently, who knows? 4 here, get rid of that. I can go to a 2, this is a 3 there. This can go up to a 4. This is not a 9 yet, now it is. 4 there. And somehow all of that, and I've not finished any of these rows yet. 4 here. Get rid of this. Oh, this is a 1. So 1 here, there's the rest of the 2 there. Now we have a motorcyclist driving by our house. 3 here. 2 there. 1 there. And 2 here. 1 there. 1 there. This can go to a 3 now, finishing up all of that, which is hilarious because that almost didn't help at all. This can now go over to here, finishing up that. What is that? Is that a turtle? Got a turtle. When they start filling in the spaces with the color, it really looks terrible, and then they like pull it away from the screen, and then it actually looks somewhat like it's supposed to look for what the picture is. I don't know why that is. It's probably like a resolution problem, or it might just be because I have a massive headache. Who knows? This one is right on the one side of my head. Just in case you can hear that driving by, I wonder why I have these headaches. That's just all day, by the way. There is no escaping them. 1 here, because why not? Now I have literally no idea what to do with the rest of these. 1 there. It's probably a 3. Get rid of all of that. 1 here, there's the 2, finishing up all of this. That one's done. There's the 6. This goes up to a 2 here. I really have no idea what I am making right now. 2 here. These are all 1s. So is that just the 8? It is indeed the 8. And here we are with a bunch of 1s and not a lot of help to get to where we're supposed to be. 3 here. Get rid of all of this. 4 to there. Get rid of that. 2 to here. Get rid of this. Then there's a 4 there, and then there's a 1 here. Oh, I have no idea what this is. Crocodile, sure. Honestly, that probably looks like what the crocodiles would look like if I tried to draw one right now with a colored pencil. 1 there, which isn't a good thing, by the way. Again, most of my art attempts lasted about, like, 5 seconds. One of those things where you kind of just know that it's not going to work out when it comes to art, at least for me. There's just no point in me continuing that. I'll look at it and I'll just be like, no. I honestly, at this point, I don't even know what it was I was trying to draw. A 3 to here. This goes to a 6. 3 there. This goes to a 4 here, then a 5. This can go to a 3 now. And get rid of that. Get rid of this. So there's the rest of the 2. 2 here. Got really lucky that that was needed there. There's the 2. Should have known that's what was going to happen there because that makes it the least bit of help possible. 5 here. Can't go there. 2 there. Get rid of that. I think this is just 4 and 1. This is done. 1 here. This can go to a 3. This has to be where the 4 is, so can at least connect those. 4 here, and then there's the 3. This is a 3, and that was a 3 and a 2. Wow. Just because I was impatient. That's hilarious. 3 here, 2 there. It's actually funny because I'm really far ahead in my recordings. But I was like, might as well just do a quick recording because I'm going to have to start getting prepared for when we get ready to move. So I have some recordings done in advance. And was supposed to have today off. It's probably why I sound absolutely like wrecked in just the head because my brain was like, I'm supposed to be able to relax today. I record a lot. And I was like, nah, let's just do something. Why not? This is not there. So we can go 1 here, 2 here. We know that's going to be there. There we go. Got back this area. 6 to there. 2 here. Nothing there. This is going to be there. 3 here. 2 here. This goes to there. And that's a 2. This can go to here. There's that one done. Nothing here. 1 there. And honestly, it would have just amazed me to hear how loud some of these trucks drive by, like the actual decibel readings for them. Because some of these trucks are gotta be over the, like the weight limit for the road. That's a 3. One there, one here. And that's a 3, so there's the 4. Nothing here. There's the 2. 2 here. And again, if you guys have any games specifically you want me to play on the channel, let me know. I'm probably going to be changing up the schedule once the move is done. Just to be able to play some newer games and stuff like that on the channel to hopefully help it grow better. And like maybe some Dark Souls, just because I feel like I don't rage enough. What was that? Gecko. Sure. 8, 9. So maybe just try going across with this. That actually shouldn't have worked, but I got lucky. So if you guys have any games you can think of immediately, just let me know. Just any of them, maybe a game you've seen on the channel that I've played and then left. I know, like, Papa's Pizzeria at one point was kind of popular, and like, hey, I wouldn't mind going back and playing that. I pressed the wrong button. Let me see here. Probably can go like 2 more over on this side. Get rid of that and this. Oh, that was 1 too low. Okay. 6, 2. But yeah, honestly, if you guys have any games, genres, as I've said before in the comments section, just let me know. Genres, game types, like you want me to play more Tycoons, you want me to play more, and again, when it comes to recommendations for games, they don't have to even be a specific game. As I said, if you want me to play more Tycoons on the channel, more horror games on the channel, just let me know. 2 space, yeah, that's now straight across. Kind of wondering, because I have Dead Space, and I feel like quite a few people enjoyed when I was playing the horror games on Roblox. Obviously, I need to get sound in the background, but I'm hoping to figure that out once we move to something in the background, even if it's just like music, because they've got the uncopyrighted music section on YouTube. Might even try to get something playing in the background just as a scary sound for the horror games or something like that. 1 here, 3 there, 4 there. Let me know what you think about that too. 1 here, get rid of this, and this can go to 4, and then this can go to 4. 2 here, get rid of that, and this. Nothing there. This can go to here. That is a 2 already. This is a 3. Nothing here or there, so this 3 has to go here. There's the 4s. 4 here. 1 there. I think Dead Space's platinum trophies are actually very difficult. I don't think I ever actually completed Dead Space even for fun. So that would just flat out be a new game that I've never completed on the or for fun even being on the channel. Which I feel like so far all I've been completing are games I've either played in the past a lot, so I'm fairly comfortable with the game, or games that I've literally completed in the past for fun. And I'd like to start playing some games that are completely new to me. I mean, I don't even think I've ever played games like Elden Ring, and I was never really a huge Dark Souls fan, but I mean, hey, I don't mind it if people want to watch. It'd be fun to see how long I can go before I completely rage at that game. 7, 11, 10... 9 and 8. There we go. And there. And then this is done. And that's done. 3 here. And that's just like that. 1 there, gets rid of all of this. That is already a 9. This has to be there. Oh, so now we're literally just doing the background of the creature. It's not even the actual creature itself. 2 here, 2 there, get rid of that. When it comes to reptiles, the only reptile that I can even think of off the top of my head, trying to think. I mean, Godzilla would be considered a reptile, right? It's a giant lizard. 1 here. Trying to think of any reptiles that I genuinely don't like. I mean, most reptiles are pretty chill. 9 here, 9 there. This can go to 7. Oh, don't quite click that yet. I am not sure. This can go to 11. This can go to 6. That's a 4. 4 there. There's the 6 here. Gets rid of that. And this. Now this can go to here. 1 there. This can go to 8. These can now all go to 7. Stop clicking so fast. This can go to 5. This to 6. This to 6. And then 1 here. So we now know where the 9 is. That was actually straight across, but no point in risking it. 6 there. Get rid of that. That's a 7. Nothing here or there. There's the 7 there. Get rid of that. Nothing there. I will probably put up some polls though, so if you guys don't see this video, you can vote on it in the... Well, if you don't see the video, you wouldn't even know what I was talking about, but you get the point. Massive headache. I apologize for some of the stupid sounding statements I am making. But there'll be polls. I'm gonna probably put up a bunch of them when I am done with the move and stuff, just to let people know and to get people's opinion on what they want to see. I feel like I've been playing a lot of like the same game on Roblox, and as much as like the whole point of the channel is to complete the game, I can do it differently so that way it is we can complete it faster. Whether that means longer videos less often, or I play some on my spare time and then just kind of let everybody know what I got done, like I was doing with Pet Simulator and Pets Go. Not entirely sure yet. 3 here. Gets rid of both of those. 1 there. Gets rid of that. And this. 2 here. 1 there. And then a 4 there. Is that a snake? Yes, it is. Oh, sorry, a python. My bad. Must be specific. Honestly, it is important to be specific. I feel like the one animal that you have to be specific with is a snake. It is truly the animal that, if you don't pay attention to details, could be the literal definition between poisonous or camouflage. Don't really know what to do with this one. 1 space, 1 space, 3 space. No, but I mean, you can put 1 there, I guess. Let's put 4 here. Great. And wow, it's kind of obnoxious how just little actual numbers they're giving you for this one. Huh. Another random guess. My favorite. So that's a 2. And naturally, this one has to just be 1, because there's just no helping that one. Uh, 2 here. Great. That actually helps out quite a bit. 3 here. That is done. This is now. This can go to 7. Yep. 2 there. This can have 1 here, then nothing there. Actually, just nothing there at all. 2 here. Get rid of that. 3 there. That was literally just luck. That was all just luck. No thought went into that at all. I just went, hopefully it's over here. Yep, that is how puzzle games are meant to be played. Wonder why I'm always having to redo puzzles 15 times. 2 there. And 1 here. Or basically right back where we started. 1 here, 1 there. That kind of helped. 4 here. There we go. 3 here, get rid of that. That's a 2 there, get rid of this. 2 here. That's a 1. This has to go here. And a 1 has to go there. 1 has to go there. This is just a 2. And a 2 here, then a 3 there. So what was this? Like, you can't just... Komodo dragons, are they even green? It looks like a crocodile. It's like the same picture. You just said it's a Komodo dragon now. Now you're literally playing by my rules when it comes to art. 2 here. This goes to there. 5, 3, 3, 4. Get rid of this. And that. 2 here. Trying to remember the last thing I can honestly remember about art. I did not take any art classes. I didn't have to. Once you got to high school, you were allowed to actually pick your electives. Now, that's actually kind of a funny thing, because in my school it was, you can pick your electives, and you're like, well, do I have to have electives? And they were like, well, if you don't, colleges aren't going to be very appreciative of that. And then it's like, I get to start looking for colleges, and all the colleges are looking at me like, who cares about electives? Like, yep, as usual. Probably like state funding, right? That's how that worked. If everybody's in a club, we receive more state funding. So 1 here, 3 there, 2 here. But I had, I want to say my junior year, when I was going around and like, they were trying to get people to join certain clubs, and I technically had a study hall available. They were like, go around and check out the classrooms. You never know when something will pique your interest. I was like, I had to go check out the art rooms, because I ended up not adding an elective, because why bother? But it was actually hilarious, because I went into one of the art rooms, and it was just like, no. There's no reason for me to waste my time with this. It's actually funny, because there's like the tech classes where you go in and learn how to use like saws and band saws and stuff. I was fine like in that classroom, so it's not like I'm just terrible at creating anything. It's more of just, I get an image in my head of what I want it to look like, and then I look down at it 5 minutes later, and I'm like, well, that was an absolute mess. Nope. And at least when it comes to like me and art, I have always kind of been the kind of person who's just like, I know it's not going to get any better regardless of how much I practice, so why bother? Let's just stick with what I'm decent at, and then just go from there. 7 here. Now we know there can be 3 here. And Get rid of that. And 2 here. Get rid of all of this. 1 there. This can go up to a 4. There's the 3. 6. 2 here. 1 there. And this can go to a 5. And this can go up to a 4. 2 to here. Get rid of this and this. Then this has to be where the 4 is. This can go up to a 5. Get rid of all of that. This is a 1. This is going to be a 1. 1 there and there. This has to be part of a 3. Get rid of that. 2 here. Finishing this. 1 there. Nothing here. 1 has to go here. Get rid of that. I was actually in a lot of electives growing up. It was more of that thing of like, most of the time, the teacher changed and then the entire elective just crashed. So I was like, eh. And next level, we've got a 4 and an 8 at the bottom, so let's try to go like 4 here, 1 there. We can probably go 1 more here. And this is 11, 12, 13, 14. So I guess we could probably go here, up to there, 1 there. Do we have anything here of any help? I guess technically like that. And then a 5. This goes down to 3. This can't go to 3. Neither can that, so nothing there. 2 here. Gets rid of this. Nothing there. There's the 4. Gets rid of this and this. 1 here. So that's a 3 there. It has been a while since I've played this game, but to be fair, sometimes that's a good thing. 3 there. 3 here. 1 here. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean I don't have a headache right now. It just simply means I have had a break from a puzzle game for a while. 1 here. This goes up to 5. That's a 2. This is a 2. So this is the 5 here. 3 there. 3 there. Gets rid of all of this. And that. And this is a 1. No 3 there either. 1 here, gets rid of this. And 5 and 3, so I could probably go 4. This goes to a 4. This is to a 3. That's a 2. 1 here, there's a 4, get rid of that. This has to be a 4 as well, get rid of this. That is a 2. This goes to a 5, get rid of that. Nothing there or there. I was wondering if I might get lucky if I checked in this area. Maybe there's enough 2s that would give me the 2 1s, but there wasn't. Okay, so probably like 1 here. Get rid of this. And it's probably the 6 I'm gonna have to work with, so like 2 here. Get rid of that and this. This has to be a 1, so we can have 1 there. 2 has to go here, gets rid of this. So there has to be 3 2s. There can't be enough space for another 2 over here, so this has to be a 2 there. So this is the 1. 3 here, get rid of that. So then there has to be another 1 over here. Actually, there has to be 2 more 1s over here, and then the 3 has to go there. Gets rid of that. Has to be a 1 here. Get rid of that. So that is the 2. This is a 1. Has to be a 1 here and a 1 there. So So this can go to 4 now, get rid of that. This is 3 here and a 1 there. 1 here. Get rid of all of this. This has to be the 3. A 1 has to go here still. There's the 5. That's a 3, so 1 here, get rid of that. This can now go to 5, getting rid of all of this. This has to be a 1, so there has to be a 1 here. And there has to be a 1 there. There's a 6 now to here, and then a 1 there. Wow. Yeah, the last time I attempted that 15 by 15, it did not go that well. So clearly taking a break from that helped out quite a bit. And now we're working with clothing. I don't see anything immediately obvious, but I think we can go 4 here, and a 6 there, and a 2, and then a 4. And that finishes 3 whole columns right away. 2 there and there, get rid of this and that. This can now go to 7. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 1. So the 3 has to go here. Now this can go to 5. Nothing there. This can be a 1 there, and then a 1 here. Now this can go up to a 3, because there has to be a 5 here. Can't have anything there or there. Is that now the 8? That is the 8. There we go. Nothing here or nothing there either. 1 here, get up to a 9. Can't have 3s here at all anyways. Can only be around this one. This is a 1, that's a 1, 3 here, get rid of that. And there's this row entirely done, or column, or whatever. Nothing there or there. Can't have anything here. So this is a 1, we can get rid of all of that. This goes to a 5. This can all be gotten rid of as well. And this can now go to 8. Getting rid of all of that. 2 here, nothing there. This can go to a 3, finishing up all of this. This goes to a 3 there. 2 here. And 1 there gets rid of that. That's a 2 and a 3. Has to be a 1 here and a 1 there. So there's the rest of the 3. 1 here. There's the rest of that 3. Gets rid of this. 2 here, 2 there, 1 there. Now, if you guys hear a bunch of sound in the background, by the time this video is out, I'm hoping we're no longer at our normal house. We're now at the our new house. But when I'm recording the video, there's been a lot of noise. So last couple of days have been very, very, very difficult in terms of just how much noise there's been. No breaks. So hoping that by recording early in the morning there will be more of a chance of less sound, but nothing really makes sense in our house, so 2 there, 3 here, these are all 1s. Up to even here, guaranteed. Has to be a 1 here, and 1 there, so that's a 2 here, get rid of that, and this. 4 space, there's enough space for a 4 and a 3 to go in there. These are 1s guaranteed, so nothing there. So this has to be a 3 here, getting rid of all of that. That means the 3 is in there, get rid of that. This is a 1. This can go up to here now, finishing up all of that. Nothing here either, nothing there. Hmm. Not an easy level. I'll say that. But to be fair, we're in the 15 by 15s now for a while, so the levels are going to be more complicated. Even though it is the bonus levels. I feel like some games' bonus levels are very simple, and then other games they're like, we didn't really increase the difficulty during the actual story, so we'll take that opportunity to do it now. This can go to here, gets rid of this. 1 there, that's a 2, get rid of that. 4 here. Get rid of this. 1 there, get rid of that. This is a 2, and a 1 here. Now what is this image? Asari, okay. Poncho Asari. I'm honestly just glad that it wasn't something as simple as like t-shirt. Because, I mean, wow, that would have been just super exciting to have to do a full puzzle and just get a t-shirt. Just like a rectangle with a circular cutout at the top. Sorry, the sounds that are driving by are like just shaking our entire house and vibrating my head. Wow, 1 and 2 are right there. That's surprising. Top right, huh. I should have probably just worked with like these 8s because I feel like those 2 8s are going to line up with these 1s, but not a guarantee by any means. In fact, just because I want it to usually guarantees that it won't. Let's go over to a 5, 1 here. Actually, I think that literally guarantees that it won't. Incredible. 5 here. 3 there, that's a 2. This goes to a 6. Get rid of all of this. This goes to an 8. And then we have all of that gone, and then a 4 there. 5 there, there's the 3. Finish up all of that. Nothing here either. Now this 8 might actually lead with that. 3 here, 2 there, get rid of this. Can't go there. So I guess we just work with like the possibility that there's 4 here. Get rid of that. And this. And could be a 1 here because the 4 could go that way. So no guarantee there. I guess I should just get rid of the one that I can actually do immediately. 2 here, 1 there, and 1 here. Get rid of that. 2 there, 1 there. Get rid of this. And there's the 8. So I would have been right on one of them, but I was going to start with the right one. This one over here first. So I would have been wrong regardless. It's good to know that regardless of what I would have done, I would have been wrong. Which is to be expected when you are trying to play puzzle games with a headache. 2 there, 1 here, and 1 there. Now what is this? A toga. Okay. I'm glad we are being very diverse with these ones. Like I said, I enjoy seeing different pictures each time. And nothing there. Nothing here or here. Wow, that just finished up like half of this row immediately. This has to be a 1. 6, 1, 4. I feel like that should be helping me way more than it's probably going to. Get rid of that. 1 there. Can't have a 2 here, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that one. Nothing there. Not an easy one. Not that I'm shocked. 2 there, 2 here. We can get rid of that, I guess. Okay, that's way too convenient for there not to be a 6 there. Now, naturally, that would have usually been my first sign that there wasn't a 6 there, is that it's way too easy. But, Eh, I guess I just wanted it to be a 6 badly enough. 10 here, 1 there, that's a 4, get rid of this. 2 space 3, 1 there, get rid of that. That's a 2, get rid of this. Nothing there, nothing here. There's the rest of the 3. This obviously has to go that way. This can go to a 10. Not entirely sure what's going on from there. Nothing here. 2 here, I guess? Yeah, so this has to be a 1. Which does actually help way more than you would think. This can go up to a 4, get rid of this. This can now go up to the 6, 1 here, get rid of that. Well, these have to be connected, so there's the rest of that 7. 5 here, get rid of this. The 3 now has to go here. So there's the 2 and the 1. This 3 is going to go over here, finishing that. This is done as well. This can go to here. This is also a 1. This one's completely done. Nothing here. Nothing there. This is a 1. That is also a 1. Now what? Like, sincerely, now where am I supposed to continue this? Nothing here. This can go 1 more to the left. This can also go 1 more to the left, finishing all of that. So that has to go there. 2 here, that's a 1. That one's done. 1 there, finishes the 7. This has to have a 1 here, get rid of that. I genuinely don't know if there's enough information for me to figure out where I'm supposed to be going from here. 2 there, I think that might be, like, just the complete luck of... That probably will be the rest of my luck for the month again. I need to stop using all of my luck in games that I can just restart if I make one mistake. Let me see here, get rid of that. Nothing here, so the 2 has to go here. Get rid of this. There has to be a 1 here, get rid of that. A 1 there, there's the 5. If I had to take a guess, it's here, maybe there. Oh, wait, hold on, 1 and 1, those are guarantees. And there has to be a 1 here, and then a 1 there. There we go. I was actually thinking it might be later Hosen, but when I saw the, it was either that or like suspenders. 10, and this goes to 5, 2 there, and this is the 4, get rid of this, this goes to 5, this can go there, yep. This can go to 8, this can go to 7, but nothing there, get rid of this. And this, and that, there's the 6, finishing this, 1 here, there's the 5, okay, well the 4 is literally right there, that was perfect. These are all 5s already, so 4 there, this goes to 8, there's the 9, 9 here, finishing that, and this. 2 here, finishing that, and nothing here, so 1 has to go here, finishing that one, 1 has to go here. Now what? There's a lot of questions on this one. 1 here, get rid of that. Okay, 3 has to go here. I was thinking, I'm like, I've got to just not be looking at one of the lines properly. It's like a beret, okay. And Okay, we have a 2 and an 11. So probably 9 here. That really doesn't help all too much. 4 here, maybe. This has to be a 1. So does this. And this can go 2 there, but then there's nothing here or here. Can't have a 4 there. Can't have a 5 here. So nothing there either. 4 here. Nice. Glad to see my guessing is getting better. Like, that's a skill I wanted to improve at. 10 here. Nothing there or here, so there's nothing there. Can't have anything here. And this can go to 5. I'm not entirely sure where to go next with this. 1 here. Get rid of that. Can't have anything here or there. The problem is that this 2 and 7. This could be the 2 here and then a 7 underneath that. I'm actually going to go with that. I am literally just guessing at this point. But I mean, I guess if it's going to actually help me get through these levels faster, I'm fine with guessing. Especially if I'm actually on a roll with it. And they're not like they're complete guesses, they're educated guesses. Is the excuse, I should say, that I will use. But now I don't really think there is one that's obvious. Or a lucky guess. Because there's really way too much space and not enough numbers at the top to really work with. 1 here? Sure. That doesn't even help. 3 can go up here and then a 1 here. Could literally go 3 space 1. It could go 3 space 1 or 3 space 1. Let's just go 1 there. Cool, I guess. Let's just say there's a 3 there. I am not going to have any luck by the time I'm done playing this game. 1 here, there's the 3. Get rid of that. That's a 2. That's a 2. This can now go up to 4. That's a 3. Get rid of that. And there's 1 here. There's the rest of the 5. Now this can go to 4. Get rid of that. And 2 here. Get rid of this. Connect those. So that's done. Nothing here. So that is a 1 right here. So this has to be the 2. Finishing that entirely. Nothing here either. So there has to be the 3. Then there's the 5 here. Getting rid of that. This is done there. There's the rest of the 11. 1 here. This 2 has to go there. Get rid of that. 1 here. Get rid of that. 2 here for the 3. Finishing up those. 1 there. Finishing up that. 1 here. This can go to 7. 2 there. There's the rest of the 3. Finishing up this. This can go up to here. Finishing that and that. 2 here. There's the 4. A kimono. Okay. Nothing on the edges that help out much. The 6 and 5 help out quite a bit, but I don't think beyond that I can really do too much with those numbers. Maybe 4 here. There we go. Now sometimes it is the second row that is way more help. In terms of, like, if this one didn't give me a lot of help, then the 4-4 might have helped out way more. Which in the end it might actually. 6 there, get rid of that and this. That's a 2, there's the rest of the 3. 3 here, that one's done. This goes to 5. There's the 3, get rid of this. So this has to be a 2. There's the rest of the 7, finishing all of that. Can't go here, 1 there, finishing the rest of that row. Nothing here. 2 there, there's a 4, get rid of that and this. 1 here, get rid of that. 1 there, so this 1 has to go here. I would have known that if I just continued that. After this, though, I don't really know what goes on, so we'll have to find somewhere else to start working on. So 3 here, this can actually go to 5. Nothing here or there. This is a 1 as well. 1 here. Get rid of this. I don't really know. I don't really know at all. Maybe 2 here. Get rid of that. Like I said, the problem is that the edges of this are of no help at all. Get rid of that. 1 here. So 3 space. The 5 has to go 1 more on this side. If it's 3, this is a space. There'd be a space here, so 1 more on this side regardless. If I could figure out what this is, what's going on over here, I'd be probably done. The problem is I don't know how I would even begin to figure that out with what I have remaining. That's also because of this here, so there's 4 ones that have to go in somewhere in here. So if there was a space here, then it would very obviously be 1, 1, 1, with 1 being somewhere in here. Don't know, so doesn't help. I think this is a 1. That's wrong. Okay. Honestly, I'm just glad that I got it wrong. It's actually probably should have just went, yeah, that has to be connected. Whatever. We'll start with where the 5 was on this side. So there's a 5, and then there's the 7 down here. So that should get us through the rest of it. 3, 3, 6, 5, 3. This goes to a 4, 5 there, and a 3. Get rid of this and this. And that. And 2 here. Nothing there. 1 there. I guess I could have actually just said that there was nothing here. Sometimes I make this game way harder than it has to be. 1 there. 2 here. 1 there. There's a 4 here. Get rid of that. This is the 5. So that was a 1. This is also a 1. And there's the 3. Get rid of this. That's a 2. That is already a 3 as well. That's a 3. And I think we're roughly back where we started. 3 here. 5 here. And what did we finish the last time? Got past that. Like, I don't think we've made any progress. Get rid of that besides this. 1 here. Nice. So there's either a 1 here or a 1 here because this is already there. Now naturally I'm going to go work on something else and forget what I just said, and then I'll come back and make the mistake anyways. 3 here. Get rid of this. Now the main problem is... Okay, the good news is I actually remembered what was going on there beforehand. 1 here. I think now we're fine. Because now I can get rid of all of that and this. There's the rest of the 7. This is a 1. can't go there, so there's the rest of the 3. 1 here, get rid of this, and that's done already. This now goes to a 5. There's the 2. 1 has to go here, get rid of this and this. There has to be a 1 here, get rid of the rest of that. 1 has to go here. Finishing up this, and that is already done as well. This is now just straight across. And the 1 has to go there. Wow. Not an easy one. Dutch cap. Okay. Probably do 3 more for this recording session. I don't know if I'll be continuing this video or not. 6 here, 2 there, 2 here. 6 there, 1 there, this goes up to here, and I think, yeah, that just finishes that entire row. 2 there, this can go to 11. That's a 3, there's that 2, this can now go to a 4 on this side, 3 here, getting rid of all of that. There's a 7, that does not finish any of the columns yet, unfortunately. And that finishes all of that. That's a 5, that's a 7. 7 here, I don't know what I just said, that's a 5, that's a 3. 6 here, 5 there, there's a 1 here. 1 there. Nice. So this can go to 8. 1 here, this is a 1 as well, that's a 2, and so is that, finishing up all of this. 1, 2, 2, there's a 1 here, and then a 1 here. 3 here, there's the rest of that 2. These are 1s. This is also a 1. Okay, 1 here and 3 there. Can definitely say there's at least 1 here and at least 1 there. Oh, never mind, it's just all of them is just straight across. Okay. Or straight down. 1 has to go here, 1 there. Get rid of this. So nothing there. Wow. This one's just a mess. Can't have anything there. This is either a 2 or a 3, so is that. 2 could either go here or it could go here. I'm gonna say it's probably gotta go there. Thank goodness. That at least finishes something. This could be a 1 still, yeah, because then it could go 3 space 1. So 1, 3, space 1, or this is a 1 over here that I am missing. Get rid of this. Probably got to be a 1 over here, right? Yeah. Just because of how the mosaic is looking. So this can't go here. Because that can't go there, this has to be the 3 there. So there's nothing here or there. So nothing there either. There's the 1 for the 2. Talk about obnoxious difficulties. Now what? Like, I honestly don't know where to go from there. See, I was kind of judging it off of over here, but I guess that makes more sense. So the 9's over there. Yeah. I don't really know if I want to try to figure this one out for this recording session or not. 1, I just go 9 here. 13, 14, get rid of that. 4 here, 6, 3, 7, 4, 4, 7, 3, 5, 4, 3, get rid of that, 3 there, and this is a 7 as well, get rid of all of this. There's the rest of the 3, get rid of that, there's a 2 there, and that's the 9 already, that's a 5, get rid of this and this, 1 there, get rid of that, 1 here, and 1 there, and I think we are basically back to where we started, besides this area right in there. So this 3 was here, so there is in fact going to be part of the 2 over there. Can't be there. I don't really know what's going on with this puzzle, honestly. I feel like every time I think I'm gonna figure out what's going on with it, I forget. 1 there, this is a 3, get rid of that, and that's a 2, that's a 2 there, and a 1, get rid of that. 1 has to go here. So this was a 3 over there. Yeah. And then this 1 goes here. There's a 7. So 2 here, 1 there, get rid of this and all of that. This 2 has to go here. Finish all of that. This 2 now has to go over there. So 1 has to go here, finishing that. I literally don't know what I'm looking at. Why is there just like random things over to the side? 1 here, get rid of that. This is the 2, finishing this and this. 2 there, and 3 there. I'm honestly happy I got that done in this one. A sombrero, okay, they're like throwing something above them or something like that. I don't know why that was necessary. Just stick with what the picture is. This looks really difficult. 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. I guess we can start there. 1 here. And that is all I feel comfortable with, to be honest. Actually, there's more here. 3 there. Let's go 1. Get rid of that. There's a 3 here. Finishing this. Okay, that at least gets two rows done. 2 rows are done. Great. Get rid of that. And so maybe 2 space. It's close. It almost works. But do I really have any other hints? That finishes that. That was again just a guess. 6 here. 1 there. There's the 4. 1 here and 1 there. Get rid of that. That's a 1. Wow, this one is just absolutely impossible. I'd hope it go like this. Just from... literally, that was just hope. And then a 3 has to go here and a 1 there. Great. Nothing here. Nothing there. This 3 can't obviously go over there too. 1 here, that's a 2 there. There's the 4, get rid of that. 1 here, get rid of this. There's the rest of the 3. 1 has to go here, finishing that all up. 1 has to go there. This is a very minimalistic style board, isn't it? 1 here, and there has to be a 1 there. There's the rest of the 2, and then there. And we've got Hawaiian skirt. Okay. Final one for the clothing level. We got a 20 by 20, which should help because this is the first 20 by 20 in the bonus puzzles. So 10 there, 10 here. We can connect these. No, we can't. That was the wrong one. Let me just see, like, can I also not connect these? No, these are like this. That is really random, but whatever. I need to get this done very quickly. The sounds from outside of my room are increasing, so I need to figure out what is going on. One there and one there, two in the middle, get rid of that. And then this is 1 and 1, get rid of this. 6 can't go there or there, it has to go in the middle, so let's go 4. That can go to there. 1 here. Those are going to be connected, get rid of that. So the 2 and the 15 are the ones we're obviously expecting to go over here, right? So naturally those won't even be close to the ones that are supposed to go there. 3 here, get rid of this. Why does it look like we are framing the person? Or the clothing? What is going on? Why are we suddenly into like... That could be a 5? No. No, it's gotta be a 4. So the 5's just down here. It really just looks like we are creating a picture frame for the clothing. This is a 3, there's the 6, get rid of that, and all of this. There's the 8, finishing that. That's a 15, this can go to 3, there's the 4, get rid of this. This is a 5, and then a 4 here, get rid of that. That's a 2 and a 1, then there's a 2 here. This is a 1, this is a 2. Get rid of that. This is the 6. This 5 has to go here. There's the rest of the 5 and the 15. Finishing up this. There's a 2 here and here, finishing that. These are both 2s. This is also a 2. This is a 4 and then a 1, finishing all of this. This is a 3 and then a 1 there. 2 here. I feel like I already tried to delete that once. And then get rid of this, there and here, and then here. Nice. 20 by 20 should mean more details. I am not even going to try to pronounce that word. The next one is going to be vegetables. Let's start with vegetables. So this is a 15 by 15 again, so I imagine these will not be very easy because they changed the difficulty again. So probably we'll have like 4 or 5 then of the puzzles will be 20 by 20s. I guess we can say maybe 1 here, get rid of this. Maybe 3 here, nothing there, or here. Maybe we just say 1 there. Nope. Okay, so the 5 is not down there at all. Wow, that's surprising. I am really surprised by that, actually. 5 here, get rid of that, and this. So this is going to be 1 here, and then we can go to 3 there. There's one of the 2s. So this 5 has to have 4 here, get rid of that. And there's 4 there, get rid of this. Nothing here. This is a 1, so the 3 has to go up here. Get rid of that. This can now go to 6 here. And that's a 2 there, get rid of this. 2 here, 3 here. Nothing there or there. Get rid of that, so we can get rid of all of that. 3 here. That's a 1. And Okay, the 6 is here now. We know that. Not entirely sure where the 3 is yet at all. Okay, nothing here, so we can get rid of that. 1 here, get rid of this. And I'd like to figure out where the 4s are at all. 1 here, get rid of this. Can't have a 1 here, so we can put a 1 there, get rid of that. And this. So... Can't have a 1 here. I'm looking at like the 3s and then this one. I feel like there should be more to know from this. But there really isn't. 1 here, I guess. So that's going to be part of the 2. Uh-huh. Oh, 5 here, 1 there. There we go. That finally helped. And now we can say that there is nothing. Really. 1 here, get rid of that, so there's the 3, that finishes all of this. That can't be a 1 there. That actually could be, no it couldn't be, because there's a 2 there. So that's a 1 there, there's the rest of that. 3 here, 1 here. And this goes to here, get rid of that, 2 there. And that's the 7 is already done. There's the rest of the 6, there's the rest of the 2. Get rid of that, 2 here. There we go with this. 4 there, 1 there, and there's the rest of the 3. Starting out very strong. Broccoli, wow. All that for broccoli. It's only a 15 by 15, I don't think it needed to be that detailed. 2, 6, 2, that's like 12. So, or 10 technically, but there's 2 spaces in the middle. I know what I was saying when I said that, I think. 2 there, I guess we can go 1 here. There's an 8, so we could go like 2 here. Probably say like 3 there. That lets us do this, which gets rid of that and this. These are all done. There's an 8 there, there's a 6. Maybe we can go 1 here and 1 there. Gets rid of this. It's funny how there could still be a 4 here. In fact, nah, there's no way. 1 here. I didn't think so. Really, there's nothing anywhere there. That's surprising. Let's just find where the 7 is. That should be enough. So 7 here. Get rid of this. And this just goes like that. And this can go to 8. Get rid of all of that. And there's the 2. Get rid of this. That's a 1. Can't go there. 1 here. So literally all of that, and it doesn't really give me anything that's easy to figure out the rest of the puzzle from. 2 here, 1 there, get rid of that. Can't go here. Also can't go there. Or here. So 1 here and 1 there. Get rid of this. So 1 has to go here and then 1 there. So this is one of the 4s. The other 4 has to go here. There's the 2. 2 there, get rid of that. There's a 2 there. 1 here, there's the rest of the 8. These are 1s. This could be a 5 or a 3. No, it couldn't be, there's not enough space. 2 there, so this is a 3 here. There's the 4. This goes up to a 5, get rid of that. And this has to go here. There's the 6. And there's the rest of the 4. Okay. There's a 6 here. And we can go up to 3 there. Can't have anything there at all. This is a 6. 2 here. There's the 4. Get rid of that. And get rid of this. This can go to a 5. This is the rest of the 5. Now we know that is a 3. 1 here. Get rid of that. There's just nothing there. 3 here. This is the rest of the 5. That's the rest of the 7. There's the 3. 2 here. Get rid of this and this. Here's the 5, and there's the rest of the 2. Like, oh, zucchini. I honestly couldn't tell if that was zucchini or green beans. 5 here. Let's just go like this there, 5 there, get rid of that. So 1, 1, and 1. Get rid of this. And there is this entire side done. It's probably going to be something like asparagus. 3 space, 3 space, no. So we can go 2. Let's just go like this. No, that is not the 5. I did see that the last second. 5 there. And now it's 3 space 2, yeah. Excellent. Up to 7, over to 6, down to 5, that's just done. To 5, and all of that is done. There we go. So 5, 5, 5, and 5. Finishing up all of that. These are done. This is a 3. These are 1s. 1 here. And then 1 and 1. Gets rid of that. And then 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Probably a 1 here, but I really don't know where I'm supposed to go from here. Doesn't really give us a lot of options. There we go. Now we know there's a 1 here and a 1 there, finishing both of these. And this, which finishes the rest of the puzzle. Was that asparagus? Yep. What a shocker. I really don't understand what this one's going to end up looking like at all from any of the numbers. Maybe I can go 2 here. Nothing here, nothing there. There's a 4 over here, there's a 5 there. Not really seeing any numbers that we can go like... So they do actually help us out a little bit in this one. I saw the 2s, but they weren't close enough for them to actually be both sides where the 6 was here and here. I was hoping maybe they would help out a bit more than this, because that's all that does. So, 4 here. I mean, the 9 and the 1 is 10, and then 11. I should have enough space to go like that, but I really don't think that does too much. 2 here and a 1. 2 here? Sure. Again, I guess. The problem is, I don't think, because of how small these numbers are, I don't think any of them are really going to be too much help. Maybe like 2 here. Nothing there. If I could figure out where this 4 went in any way. 4 here. No, of course not. That would be too easy. So 3 in the center right side. We'll try it that way this time. And then I'll get the 6 dealt with over here. 1 there. And there's a 2. Oh, that wasn't where the 2 was. Let's just get the 4 over here set up, and then we'll figure out what's going on over here after that. 3 here, 2 there. Okay, so this is the side you're supposed to try to find. Again, technically I'm supposed to have hints that are usable, but I don't feel like that's, I swear that there was a game of this where the hints counted against you, and I didn't want to get used to having the hints helping me out. But it is the 6th game and I've yet to see that, so could just be adding needless difficulty to myself. Nothing here or there. 4 space, close. We can go 3 though. So that's done. 1 here and 1 there. Gets rid of that. Has to be a 1 here and a 1 there, so there's this. 1 here, 1 there, get rid of that. 1 has to go here and a 1 has to go there. So that finishes the 4 needed there. 1 here. I don't know. Actually, no, this is just a 1. So the 2 has to go there. There's the 5. So literally, if I'd just done any of the sides besides the 6, it would have been way easier. 2 there, 1 here, get rid of that. That's a 2, there's another 1. Get rid of this and all the rest of that. Can't go there, so it's a 1 here. That's the rest of the 5. That's a 2, so that finishes that. This can go to 8. 1 here, finishing this. 2 and 1 there. This is the 3. So 2 here and a 3, get rid of that. Nothing there. That's a 2, and then that's the rest of the 3 there. Here's a 2. What is this? 4 there, get rid of that. 1 and 1, get rid of this. That's a 2 here, 1 there, and then 1 here. I have no idea what that is. Cabbage? Sure. I'll just go with it at this point. It's cabbage. Let's try 4 here, maybe 3 there. That does not help at all. We know this isn't there, so 2 here. Wow, that is a 1 and a 2, really. I'm just fine where that is. That actually helps out tremendously. I really would like to start finishing some of these without having to lose first to win, but I've been playing World Mosaic for a long time. We have 4 here. This goes to 3 and then a 2. There's the 5. Get rid of this. This can go to 3. This goes there. Get rid of that. That's the rest of the 4. There's the 6. 1 here, finishing that. This can now go to 6. To there, get rid of this. And nothing of any help there. That will go there. Okay, can't go there. And can't go here or there. I was kind of expecting that to be a little bit more helpful than just getting me to a different location to be unknowing what's going next. Can't go there or here. 1 there. Get rid of that. Okay, that might have helped out enough. Or not even close. Yeah, I'm short like 2. If the 2 more, I could have put at least 1 somewhere in here, and that would have told me roughly where the 3 was. Problem is, I don't know where the rest of the 8 is, or where the 4 is. If I put a space here, if it's there, put a space here, never mind, I can say there's 1 there. And that might be enough. Just from knowing that there isn't a 2 closer to this one, might be enough to finish this. 2 here, get rid of that, and this. 2 there, 2 here, get rid of that. That's a 2, get rid of this. There's a 4, get rid of that. 3 here, and then a 4. 1 here, get rid of this. That's a 1. 1 there, get rid of that. 1 here, 1 there. And there. Is that like a squash? Pepper? Pepper. That looks like a golden apple. And this one looks like it might be faster. We can say 1 there, definitely. 2 here, up to there, get rid of this. Up to here, get rid of that. Get rid of this. Cool. I don't know if this is a 3 or not. 3 here. So 5 can't go up past this. So there's no 4s in here. So we can go 1 more there. This has got to be the 3. Can't say that there's anything else in there at all. 4 here. Nice. Guessing. Nope. Just there. Now what? This has to be a 1. There's a 6 to there. 2 here. There's the rest of the 8. So that helps out quite a bit. 3 here. That's a 2. Nice. Nothing here or there. This has to be a 1. I'm gonna say the 4's over here. Can't go there, so it can't go there. That's it. The rest of the 2. And of course the 4 had to go over here because that's where it's of no help at all. 3 here. There's the 4 there. This can go 1 further, 3 further. Get rid of that. 2 this way. Can't go there. 1 there. And we don't know what else is going on there. 3 here. I thought so. Literally, as I was setting that up, I'm like, that would be way too easy. So where's this 5 go? Wow. Incredible. I think I'm literally making the outline of the pepper, of the, not the pepper, of the vegetable again. We'll just get those down. 4, 4, 3, that's a 1. 3, 4, 2, 3. And that's done there. This can now go to 4, get rid of that. This is at least like this. There we go. This is a 1, nothing there. We know that there's a 1 there now. This 4 could either go here or here. 1 here, guaranteed. Get rid of this, all of that. 1 here, 2 there. Can't go up to here. 2 here. Get rid of this. Don't worry, I'm probably gonna have to, because of all the sound, stop recording videos until we finish our move. Because the sound is just really bad. Somebody had their music blasting, it was shaking our entire house again. So probably gonna have to stop recording until I am out of here and into a place that doesn't vibrate every time somebody drives by that's loud, and most of the time they're just never loud. So space, and it could be a 3 here. We know there's a 1 there. We know it has to go 2 and 1 here. Get over here. Get rid of all of this. 3 there. Get rid of that. Okay. Can go 1 more on this side. There's the 4. Get rid of this. 2 there. Now their dog is barking. Like, it's literally just, they go through like 5 sounds. And honestly, it's getting to a point where I'm wondering if they're just using a soundboard. 1 here. That's a 3. Get rid of that. 5 there. There's a 4 here. This goes to a 4. Get rid of all of this. Get rid of that. And can't go here or there. So this just has to be the 3 and a 1. 4 there, get rid of that, 2 here, 2 there, there's the 4, and there's 1 there. What is this? Carrot. Okay, so if you guys are enjoying World Mosaic 6, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button below. Let me know in the comments some games you would like to see take the place of World Mosaic on the schedule once we finish this franchise. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.